So good to see all of you here today. I can see the numbers shoot up. I'm so excited for this webinar. Thank you everyone for joining in. As you're aware, the GlobalLinker's co-founder Sumi Gambhir is going to be the speaker for this session. I can't be happier to see her address all the SMEs today. We're going to give it a couple of minutes before we get started, but a very warm welcome and good evening to each one of you to this special masterclass today. I'm sure all of you really understand and have started using AI in your own areas, whether it's personal, professional, at workspaces, between teams. And we're just trying to help you accelerate that, bring in efficiencies, and grow as well. Um, we have this as part of our series called AIBX. So a very warm welcome to all of you who are joining in new. I can see all of you all chatting as well. Hi, so nice to see that you all are from various cities, states. So glad. Before I do any introduction or we start the session, let me ask all of you a simple question and use the chat box to respond. If you are somebody who's running a business today, what is the one AI tool that everyone should try out this week, even us? So let's see in the chat box, what is the tool that you use? Why don't you go ahead and tell us? Okay, I can see Claude, Fable model. Okay, great. Figma AI, sure. Chat GPT, Gemini. Anyone on Perplexity? I can see a few names there. Okay, more than the responses, I love the enthusiasm. Great. So, very briefly, what I'll do is, and we'll start in the next 3 minutes or so. I saw somebody say fireflies also in the middle. Definitely, we all use various forms of AI. I think somebody said Grok for images. There's closed source based on closed source, Google AI, sure. Notebook LM, sure. Great. So, given this enthusiasm, I won't take a lot of your time. And just as we start in, I want to tell you that if you run a small or medium business in India today, this session is specially built for you. There's an echo. Are you able to hear me clearly? Is the echo still there? All good? Okay, great. No echo. Great. Perfect. Okay, so we'll get started. I'm going to talk about just a little introduction before we start with our speaker today, Sumi Gambhir, the co-founder of GlobalLinker and now the new series AIBX. So we're going to talk about something that every SME owner thinks about day in and day out. How do I grow with the resources that I actually have, not the resources that I wished I had? So, with AI today, genuinely it's possible. The timing couldn't have been better for all of you all to grow and grow with us. So, I'm going to take a moment and now introduce our speaker. Although she needs no introduction for an SME in India, we have almost 400,000 SMEs in India on GlobalLinker networking on the platform. So I can still see some voice issues. Some of y'all are saying not okay. Before Sumi starts the session, I would invite you to drop off and rejoin so that you can absolutely clearly hear us. Okay, so who's our speaker today? Sumi Gambhir. She's spent over a decade solving just one problem. Why do small businesses have the least access to resources, despite being the biggest and the strongest backbone of every economy? So that's the one problem that she keeps striving to solve for. And she comes from a family of business owners herself. So it's not like it's theory for her, right? It runs in the blood. So She's been the co-founder of GlobalLinker and has built a platform that has helped, like I said, 4 lakh plus SMEs get discovered in front of across the world and grow much faster. And her latest initiative being AIBX, that takes that same mission of making SMEs grow simpler, faster, and more enjoyable, but now with an AI angle. So that same mission into the AI, age of AI, helping business owners use AI practically, not theoretically, to drive real efficiencies back home. And definitely grow your business in that. So today's masterclass is where that exactly starts. Please join me in welcoming Sumi Gambhir. Hi, Sumi.
Hi,
Okay.
everyone. Thank you for joining this masterclass. And thanks, Malvika, for a wonderful and a generous introduction. I'm very excited about bringing this series, AIBX, to all of you. And AIBX is an acronym. It stands for AI for Business Growth. So you will see a lot more content coming from us in the forms of masterclass, webinar, videos, reels, and even blog posts, just helping you use AI for business growth. So I would highly encourage you to follow us on our social media handles. I believe a lot of you already follow us on GlobalLinker, but it would be great if you also follow on the handles that you see here on the screen. So my Instagram handle is sumi.gl, and you can also find me on LinkedIn if you search for Sumi Gambhir. I look forward to connecting with a lot of you after this masterclass as well. So before we begin this masterclass, I just would want you to take some time just pondering over this question, because as business owners we usually don't get the time to pause and reflect. So this is a good opportunity to just give this a thought on how many hours a week do you lose to marketing, sales, finance, or general operations, administrative work, all of this put together. I'm guessing the answer for a lot of you would be a lot more than, a lot more hours than what you would like. You would like to spend your time on strategy, thinking things through, but maybe a lot of these functions or even other projects or tasks are taking away from the time that you can dedicate to business growth. That's really, this is the thought that really inspired me to put together this masterclass, as much as for me as for all of you. And I'm excited to share with you with all the research and steps that my team has put together. So it's very important to understand that we do use AI. The most common use of AI is either for searching or for prompting. For some of us, AI has replaced Google. For some of us, it's like just giving a prompt and getting a task done. You'll also see a lot of content out there is dedicated to teaching you how to prompt, or what's a more refined prompt that you can give to AI to get a better output. Now, that is great. Don't get me wrong, that is great. But that is like briefing a freelancer. What that really means is that each time you want something done, which is similar in nature or belongs to a past task, it's linked to a past task or a past performance, you have to prompt again. But when we talk about using AI for hiring, what I really mean here is creating a central brain and repository of all assets, knowledge, data, everything put together, almost like an employee's brain would have in relation to a department. You start putting all of that together. So each time that you're getting a task executed or a project executed, you're really building on that past data and the information that you have in relation to your business. So before we get into how you can use Claude to effectively manage 4 departments, or in fact many more departments, I think first and foremost, let's just take a few seconds to just reflect on the offline process that one would have done. And for the purpose of this, I've come up with this framework which I called Hire, where you start with the H, which is the hire, which includes writing down the job description. What are you really expecting from this role? Why does this role exist? What are the key objectives that you're trying to meet? How does this impact the business? What is the contribution that this role will have to the business? The second is the I, which is the inform. So once you have identified and written down the job, roles, responsibilities, the description, the JD as we call it, it's important to inform that employee. You onboard that employee with company information, knowledge, and all of the past inputs that you have. Then you go into refine, which is training your SOPs. And then there is execute. So once you've really built, the job description, you've onboarded with the info and knowledge, you have provided specific skills or the standard operating procedures known as SOPs, then it's time to execute and delegate it as task. So if we understand this offline framework, this is the framework that we will use in the context of using Claude, and how this applies to using your Claude account to improve performance of your business, and really using it for the 4 key roles that we talk about. So the 2 words or 2 terms that will be important for you to understand in relation to your Claude account, there is projects and there is skills. Even when you access Claude, it's not like these 2 are interrelated. They are separate, so they need to be set up separately as well. And I will cover a lot of that in detail with you today. In fact, we will do a live demo of this as well. But let's start by understanding projects. So a project is the central brain or the central repository that you hear me talking about. This is where you can provide custom instructions. You can provide a knowledge base of uploaded files, and then everything that you're doing under this tab or this project, it's going to be the chats, everything's going to stay in one place. And each time you don't have to rebrief or provide the brief again. All the history will be there, all the context will be there. Let's talk about skills now. So skills is almost like having the trained employees playbook, where you can give very specific expectations of how to execute a task. So you can use existing skills on Claude, you can build or define skills on Claude. And once again, we will cover this in detail as well. But before we dive into the live demo, I thought it's important that we understand that the 2 key terms that we will be using, or the 2 key Claude features that we'll be using, is going to be projects and skills. And when these are used together, that's where the magic happens. So projects hold the context and skills hold the process. And we are going to be combining these 2 together for improved efficiency for ourselves. So this would be a good time for us to jump into the live demo. You will see me switching between the slides and the browser tab where I have my Claude account open. And I would like to qualify, for the purpose of this masterclass, I am using a paid Claude account. I have a subscription. In fact, we have a company-wide subscription. However, my team has tested this, and you will be able to perform all of these steps even using a free account. So you don't really have to take the subscription on day 1. Start using the free account and see how it works for you. And everything that I'm going to be showing you today, as I qualified, you will be able to do using the free account as well. So before I actually share my screen and open my Claude account, I just want to say one more thing, that the magic or the results that you will get from the AI are going to be as good as the inputs that you're going to provide to you. So, sorry, the inputs that you are going to provide to AI. So it's never like AI is magically going to do a job for you. You still should be doing the initial thinking. So in this case, when you're hiring the marketing for the marketing role, the marketing manager, it's very important for you to write the job description yourself and provide it to AI. Of course, AI will build on it, it'll give you more ideas, but the basic brief should come from you. So in today's masterclass, we are taking the example of a packaging supply company that is a B2B supplier of sustainable packaging to e-commerce and D2C brands in US and India. The customers of this brand care about sustainability and unit economics. The voice of this brand is credible, data-backed, never preachy, and never generic. The channels that this business has been using or has identified as effective channels is LinkedIn, monthly newsletters, case studies. They are seeking two campaigns, seasonal campaigns, given they are present in two markets, US Black Friday and India Diwali. And what is it expecting from the Claude solution or an AI solution that you may be using? Is a posting date, a time, a clear CTA. If you wish to get 2 to 3 options, then you should ask for that. In this case, we are asking for 2 to 3 options. So now you will see me switching between my slides and my Claude account. Now, I do want to say that everything that you see on the slides that I'm sharing with you, we will be sending it to you. You can always comment below and we'll make sure you get these slides. So first, let's, even before I have the projects tab open, but before I do that, let's just see what a Claude homepage looks like. This is where you will land once you've created your account and you've logged in. And you will find, now you can, just start by chatting something, but remember, that's the prompt example I gave, that you will be giving a task and then you'll be briefing, giving the context, and then, each time you need a similar task done, you will have to provide the context again. Instead, what we recommend is you use projects. You'll find it here in the left navigation. So simply click on projects, and this is the page where all of your company projects will sit. And you can create a new project. And for today, we can say, what are you working on? So in this case, I have typed marketing role. What are you trying to achieve? Now, add any custom input that you would like. What I am adding here is create a central brain and repository of all my marketing information and data. Now, it's important to set up the visibility correctly. This is especially relevant if you are if you're using Claude along with your team as well. In my case, I am, and I don't want to keep the marketing role as private. I want to make it visible to everyone in my organization. So anybody who's writing emails, creating marketing assets, they're all building off from the same project, and we can all sort of work on this together. And I'm going to click on create project. And you will see that a marketing role tab has been created under projects. Now, this is a page you should, make the most of and add the relevant files and instructions, because that's where the context setting will happen. So if you see on the top right, you've got the memory, which is the project memory, which will show after a few chats. So as you start working on tasks or chats within this window, they will all come up here in the memory section. Now, coming to instructions, this is the place where you want to, start with the H of the acronym, which is hire, and inform. So you've done the marketing manager hiring by creating the project, and now you want to inform. So I have got a prompt here, which is like a JD for a marketing manager. You can use this or, sort of edit it as per your liking and requirement. So I'm simply copying it and pasting it here. And please remember, I like to reiterate, and I said this before, that an AI LLM or a Claude will work as well as your inputs are. So it's very important for you as a business owner to sit down and think, of these points before you add them here. So here I am going to set this as project instructions, and I'm going to click on the Save Instructions button. And you will see just in a few seconds that these instructions have been saved under the marketing role tab. And every time you're building a chat within this, it's going to leverage onto this. This is the section where you will upload files. Now here, I would recommend adding, as many files of context as you can. What we have also done is come up with a list of files that you should be hiring for each of these 4 functions. In case of marketing, you should definitely have your brand style guide. It could be a 1-pager. I have a 1-pager, so that's what I will use for this masterclass today. You should have a repository of top 10 to 20 performing posts with numbers, because this is what will help Claude understand what's worked for you in the past and then build further on that. You should have your buyer persona, or if you have an ICP, which is an ideal customer profile outline, you should provide that as an input. Any past campaign briefs that you have to show the existing format. And then competitor notes, if you have built some documents around taking notes from what your competitors are doing well, what you could learn from them to do, to not to do, it's helpful, but completely optional. And to upload all of these files, I will go back to the Claude tab, and I will click on the plus icon here and the add icon and click on upload from device. Now here you will see I have folders created for all of these 4 roles. So I'm going to select the marketing folder and select all of these files that I have pre-created, and of course using Claude or other AI solutions, but giving the manual input and doing my thinking before giving this as a task to AI. So these files are getting uploaded here. All of these files are here. I'm currently using only 1% of project capacity. These are Word files. As you'll add more images, heavy PDFs, obviously more of the project capacity will get used. But this is a good starting point for us to have the job description set out. So firstly, let's say the role created, the job description set out, and now the files are also attached. So we have done a lot of the informing part, of the role. Now we are going to move to the R, which is the refine part. And I'm once again going to go back to the slideshow. So for the training part or the refining part, we are going to move to the second use of the feature on Claude, which is training a skill. You would remember I said at the beginning of the session that a skill and a project is not entirely interrelated, so you won't find them in one place. Let me show you how to access the skill section, but before that, just take some time to write down the skill training that you want to do. So in this case, the skill that we are going to be creating is the LinkedIn caption style. And you'll see from my notes here, I'm saying there should be a 1-line hook under 12 words, no emoji, no exclamation mark, 2 to 3 short paragraphs of body copy, 1 blank line between each, a proof point, bold 1 real stat or result if we have one, a clear CTA with a question or a link, and using hashtags, maybe restrict to 5. You could come up with any number that you feel will work for you and has worked in your past post. So once you have all of this, let's see how we will create the skill. And I'm now going to move to the Claude window. And before I do that, I am just going to copy paste the skill name from here. And as I said, you will have access to this, so feel free to use it, edit it as you like, or use it as it is. So now to access skills, you'll see me clicking on the Customize tab on left. Here is under Customize, you will see skills, and you'll have to click on the Add button, and there you will click on Write Skill Instructions. Now, here are the 3 fields you have to fill. And the more of the thinking you can do about this before you actually come to the screen, the better the output, you'll get as well. I can't say that enough, that's so important. So I've got the skill name, I've got the description here as we read it earlier, and then I have got specific instructions for this skill. And once I click create, you will see the skill is added to my Claude account. So now we have the marketing role set up, we have the instructions that have been given, we have created a skill. So step 4 is E, which is execute, delegate. So now we can really give a prompt, but with the required context that's already been set up. Now we can just simply copy paste this prompt and generate the result. And you will see, and maybe if you like, you can experiment of giving just this prompt without all the context setting that you did, and then give this prompt with all the context setting that we've learned through this masterclass, and see the difference. I'm sure you will be surprised. We did that test before we put all this content together, and you will be amazed to see the difference in the output. And definitely the one that comes out of context setting is going to be so much more usable and even impactful for your business. So here is, where the Claude account will do the magic and create, the campaign for you. So these are really the 4 steps that you will see us applying to all of the roles. And I would say, please don't restrict yourself to these 4 roles that we are learning in these masterclass. Use this set of combining the setup of a project and training a skill in Claude. Use this combination for almost anything that you do. So for example, if you want to create a highly specific role, so marketing is a big and a generic role, but even within that, if you wanted to create specifically a social media marketing manager, I speak to so many business owners and everybody talks about not having the time to think through social media posts, creating calendars. So please use this framework to hire yourself a social media manager, and you'll see how easy it will become for you to post. You will have all your posts pre-planned, and I will do series of many more videos. In fact, not just me, the entire team here is excited to bring many more videos on even automating posts, creating posts. So there is so much you can do, really. When we say sky is the limit, it's absolutely true in today's AI enabled world. So now that we have learned about the offline framework, the hire framework, we have seen a live demo of the steps that are required. We can do a speed round for the next 3 employees. All you have to do is follow the same pattern every time. You have to give them, set up a project, upload the files, instructions, and then train the skill, and then start delegating within that project window. You'll see my adjusting my camera window just so that it's not overlapping any content on the slide that you see. So what I have created for you as something that you can really take away from this class and really use after today's session is some prompts and instructions that you can put in. So for sales manager, I have 2 to 3 lines of description of what you can add when you're setting up the project, what files you should attach, and what skills to pair. So in the case of a sales manager, The role could really be on handling inbound leads, outbound outreach, providing the number, providing the market, should know the pricing tiers, MOQs, top three competitor comparisons, what the tone should be, in this case, consultative, never pushy, leads with economics, always ask for current packaging, spends before quoting, spend before quoting. So current packaging, spend before quoting, always give 2 to 3 email variants. And the files to attach in this case would be a price list, top 10 win and loss notes, objection handling notes, one sample proposal quote, competitor comparison sheet, and maybe even some data from your CRM if you're using one already. And the skill to pair with this, there could be several skills, but one such example could be the quote format. What is the exact one-pager layout so every quote looks identical no matter who sends it from your team, whether it's the sales manager, whether it's yourself, or whether it's any other team member. It should, the uniformity can definitely be achieved with a solution and set up like this. Now, the same would apply to the other two roles as well. I'm going to move to the next slide. So here is the custom instructions when you're setting up the project. Feel free to select all of this and paste it directly into Claude, or take this and edit it to make it relevant to your business. Don't just change the name of the business and the description of the business and the markets, but feel free to edit it as you like. And you will see here that I have created similar lists for the finance and accounts manager role, and there is a prompt that's been provided here as well. Similarly for operations manager, and all of these details are here. And as I said earlier, this can be either generic for an operations manager, or you can go even more specific to, let's say, an HR manager. And a skill you want to build is maybe even building job descriptions for an HR manager. The exact same framework will work, I promise. And I have tested this many times. It is the same 4 moves every time. Hire, which is the JD written ones, inform, 4 to 5 files that matter, refine, 1 skill for the task, and then execute, which is really delegate the task based on all the information and skills that you have built. So you're not just improving your prompts. Of course, that is very important. Your prompts have to be specific, but here you are really building a team that will understand the prompts and give you a better output based on those prompts. I had promised you that the second part would be a speed round, and I know I have lived up to that promise. We did keep the speed. I think the idea was really to show you that you just need to internalize the framework, understand projects and skills in Claude, and then how you used to have to use all of these 3 together to your advantage. And once again, I'll repeat, for any role that you would like within your company or within your business. And, obviously you would have had questions, as I was presenting. I do have some frequently asked questions, even as we were preparing the content for this webinar. So I've got them here on the screen. But as there are more questions coming in, we do want to leave time in this session to take up the questions. So I will, just in a few minutes, I will hand it over to my colleagues to take on the questions. I'll be personally working on with them to answer all of your questions. I would also love to hear what other content you would want us to create and how you are using AI for business growth. If you have some unique stories to share, some examples to share, or something you learned, please connect with me on social media and write to me. I would love to hear and maybe even feature you. So as I shared right at the beginning of the session, my Instagram handle is here, which is sumi.gl. You can also find me on LinkedIn. We will be doing many more such sessions. So please subscribe, connect, link, connect with us. And I am looking forward to growing your business together, leveraging AI. And I promise I will do my best along with my team to get you valuable content, inputs, and stories that will continue to inspire and help you grow your business. So I will leave the rest of the time open for questions and answers now. And thanks so much for listening into this. Putting this content together helped me significantly, and I really hope it's going to help you as well. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Ooh, that was a power-packed session from Sumi. I could see all the energy in the chat box. One thing I'd like to qualify is I'm not AI, I'm human. Okay, so like we all know, AI isn't really, and I'm going to say it very strongly, while we've heard a lot of people say AI is here to replace you or take away your job, AI isn't here to replace your business. It's here to help you remove the boring 80% of your tasks that become monotonous. You can make it much more simpler. I'm going to stop here for a minute and invite you all to use the chat box to respond to one question. um, Give me in one word, what is it that you enjoyed, or describe in one word how you liked the session today. Let's see all your chats coming up soon. Okay, excellent. Interesting, insightful, very clear examples, informative, amazing, great. Precise AI presentation. Definitely, Mr. Prasad. I think that's what we all aim. Marvelous, mind blowing. We're all very happy, and thank you so much for your kind words, and we really hope you enjoyed the session. I'm going to say, okay, I can't stop myself from reading this. Great. Team doubling down. Good solutions for a concerned startup. Absolutely. I think day in and day out, whether it's our personal life, professional life, we've all moved to AI. Whether asking questions on ChatGPT, reframing your emails, connecting, let's say, various tools onto your Claude. Definitely, we've all moved on. But I think it's important that we also do it the right way. So get all, I'll say that AI doesn't really sleep, doesn't take a leave, but one thing we need to do to get AI to work for us is to ask the right question and to use it the right way. So that's something I'd like to leave a thought with you. But that brings us to the end of today's masterclass. We've intentionally kept it within the time frame where I have shared a WhatsApp group for all of you to join in. In fact, I shared it on popular demand. I saw somebody asking for it, so that we stay in touch and all of you can join in into our next sessions. I've created the WhatsApp group and I've put it in the chat box. Please feel free to add yourself there. We will also share the session recording via email. This is being streamed on YouTube as well. So there are various ways. Don't feel that you won't be able to go and refer back to it. But like I said, one thing in the chat box, I've seen personally, I've worked very closely with Sumi, and I've seen her, the way she does it and the way she delegates to AI, not just to her team members. But I would invite all of you to use whatever you've learned today in your day-to-day life. And if there's one thing I want you to take away with, is that businesses that move first on AI aren't really the big ones. They're the ones that are willing to start small but stay consistent. And Sumi's own journey with GlobalLinker and now AIBX is absolute proof of that. So I can't say that anymore. Okay, so any questions that you'd like us to answer? I have my colleague also maybe join in from Sumi's room. Adnan, can we have you as well in case? So, do we need the paid version for this, or free version will work? So, Mr. Mehul Mehta, the one that Sumi showed to you on the screen was a paid version. Yes, free version works to an extent. It keeps it's pretty limited, but then you can start to get a sense of it. You can start on the free version and then move to the paid version. You will see value in the paid version as well.
So,
How can
Malvika,
we?
sorry,
Yeah.
I thought
Hmm.
of adding to this question.
Sure.
So, this is where you can have my personal experience. You will not regret investing those $20. It would be actually $23. Three is for taxes. But you'll not regret it. So there's so much that opens up when you subscribe. Yes, the free version works, but the paid is almost 10x more powerful. There are, for example, you have Claude Design. As a business, a lot of time we have to create presentations, or we have to create a flyer, or we have to create a collateral that we would want to post on social media or on WhatsApp. In minutes, you'll be able to create that. It has that phenomenal. The best is your co-work. You can use that as a assistant on your desktop. And a lot of these monotonous tasks that you have to do, you have to fill a spreadsheet or you have to do an analysis, it can't do that. You have to just pass on the instructions. So yes, you will not regret investing onto the paid version.
Absolutely. Okay, so I think some of our business owners here are saying hi to you as well, Adnan. Familiar face at that. Do
Great
we
to
have
hear.
any other questions? I think somebody is asking in relation to safety of information, whether free or paid. I don't think that makes a difference. It's about you taking a conscious call on whether you would like to share personal information that you don't want to reveal on an online platform. It's like the way if you are on social media, you're giving social media the acceptance for it. Similarly with AI as well. I can see another question here. Arpit Shah, how can Claude be useful to handle complex day-to-day tasks for operations in the production departments of MSME manufacturing unit? Mr. Arpit, we can definitely brainstorm on this with you jointly. In fact, I'll also run this on Claude and I'll share it with you. But having said that, we can, in fact, within our organizations and not specifically for the production department, there are various things. So first, I'll suggest to you, just like a framework, identify your pain point. So right now your question is very broad ended to say that what is it that I can get help with. But first identify, let's say, your pain point in the production department, then drill down. And I'll give you an example of how I did it. We created an entire sales training interactive app on Claude just to train internal team members. Or for that matter, you can also create, let's say, a tracker to say that remind me each time I'm going off my goals. So you can maybe put in your efficiencies of what is it that you need to deliver in your production department, see where are the gaps, and in fact, AI will suggest to you, but we'll connect again offline. Okay, so what else? Can Claude manage SMLs, calls, and follow up? Pooja Dubey. Um, Adnan, do you want to take that on? I'm not aware.
Not the call part, but yes, messages and email, it can't.
Yeah. So there are various connectors also that you could actually add to your Claude. One such, for example, is Vibe prospecting, where you can actually make your entire database of leads with Claude. So yeah, that's various things, but we can come back to you on that as well. Can you share the sales training that created on Claude? Mr. Uday, definitely, since we know each other personally also, I'll be happy to share with you the output, and then we can also look at what is it that you need to do for your inputs into the Claude system. Can Claude be used to generate genuine leads? Okay. So, Mr. Faizan, I think what you should be using Claude is ideally for, let's say, doing your research. So for example, you identify that you want to reach out to a segment, an industry, let's say digital marketing agencies, or first identify whom are you looking at targeting, then your geography, and who is the right person or the decision maker you would want to contact. So you input all of that, create a list, and then use other tools like, let's say, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, or anything to directly do an outreach campaign. That's a mix of all the solutions together will help you be able to identify the right lead for you. Okay. Could there be a session on B2B outreach automation through AI or Claude? Definitely, Mr. Jay, we will factor this as a next session that you would want to come up. I'll definitely keep that in mind. Okay, what else? Do we have any other questions? Can Claude be integrated to ERP and help to build custom-made MIS reports? Yes, 100%. Absolutely doable. Can Claude be can how to connect LinkedIn MCP Claude? Mr. Raghavendra, I saw that question and I intentionally didn't answer it only because it is pretty technical for us to just send it to you offline. Yes, it's possible. You can do it, but how to go about it, we will be happy to send it to you offline, step by step. Can we get a recording of this? I have shared WhatsApp group for all of you to join. I'm going to just put it in the chat box again. Please use the WhatsApp group to join in and get notified about the future sessions, about the current session and the recording. We will share it to your registered email ID as well. Okay, are there any other questions? How will sales and marketing be managed by Claude? Again, Pooja, this is quite broad-ended, but let's take an example. So maybe you want to unmute yourself and um, I can give you a chance to maybe talk about a little about your business. What is it that you do? And we can together brainstorm and see how can Claude help you? Would you want to do that? Then is there a way to unmute Pooja Dubey? Okay, I think Pooja, if you can unmute yourself, I'm happy to hear from you. What is your business into and what is the sales and marketing that you like to do? We could help you just brainstorm and ideate together. In the meanwhile, we'll take on other questions until Pooja unmutes. But we have not seen the output of Claude from the session. Could you share the same? Sure, we will share it with you, the output as well. Yeah, Pooja, you've unmuted. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I has just a startup in the gems and jewelry section, and I am beginning my this business, and it is about the gemstones and diamond export. So I want to understand about the sales and marketing aspects, which it can help by the cloud.
Perfect, perfect. So, Pooja, if I can ask you, do you have a website of your own?
Ma'am, I have given the quotation for that, and it is in on under process for making the website.
Okay, sure. So I think that'll be your first step. That'll be your first step too. And then you can step in here and tell the power of how a website can help you become AI discoverable on the web today. So then you want to step into that, and then we'll go on to the Claude question as well.
Sure. So, Pooja ji, in fact, I would have loved to answer it other way around, but let's talk because this is a topic which is very close to my heart, which is I also call it a lot of times silent extinction that a lot of businesses are going to face. Why it is silent extinction? Because as we are transitioning from the traditional search to the AI powered search, that's where most of the businesses are not ready for that. And I say that because websites were conceptually never made for AI. They were always made for human beings. And it happens today also. Over the past 6 months, I've possibly reviewed more than 1,000 websites. I've been actively talking to businesses and reviewing their website. And there were very few, like 1%, 99% are not there. Now, what it impacts or how it impacts is because the information source for AI is your website. Now, if it is not made for AI, wherein the data structure, the content, etc., is not for AI, AI will not have a clear understanding. It may have tuta puta understanding, but it will not have clear understanding. Now, that's where just think of it like this. If Malvika doesn't know you, well, will she recommend you? No. But if she knew you well and she knew you about your business, etc., she will even vouch for you that, yes, Pooja runs a great business, our products are phenomenal. Same way, unless AI has a deep understanding about your business, about the product offering, until then, it is not going to recommend unless you are into a very niche sector where there are no competitors, etc. Other than that, so the website has the most crucial role in the future. And that's where your entire AI visibility and recommendability sits on top of it, or it is anchored onto the website. Right, so that was there. Now, the second part of the question, and that's where Malvika, you can also contribute. But because you're mentioning that you're starting off, and that's where logically the first requirement that you have is to do an outreach to generate leads. That's where AI, in fact, not just Claude can do that better, but even other AI tools like Gemini or ChatGPT can be used very effectively to do that research. Although I would like to clarify because I'm being an expert and it would be unethical for me to not mention specialized tools. So there are specialized tools for these like Apollo, etc. But I know they are expensive. So even with the free AI tools that are available, let it be Gemini, ChatGPT, or even the Claude free one, you can start with the research. At least you can identify the prospects and start approaching them. Now, a more refined version or a next level version of it can be that you can connect your Gmail account, and that's where you can create that profile and skill, and it can review the emails or responses that are coming from your potential client, and you can start responding. But that is secondary. Firstly, at least identify and start approaching, and then you can. Now, the second thing that you can very powerfully use, and that's where you have to either opt for the paid version of Claude, or you can do that with free version of Gemini or ChatGPT also, is designing a lot of your marketing collaterals, which will help you approach the target audience.
Absolutely, Adnan. Pooja, did I
Thank you
answer
so
your
much.
question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a pleasure.
So, one question I saw from Jayesh Bhaiji of a request to talk in Hindi. I think next time we can do a session in Hindi if you'd like. We will keep that in mind for other people who want to join the session in Hindi as well. Um, are there any other questions? Again, safety of data that we share. One is, I feel, very importantly, like for example, on my Claude, I've given various settings like Claude, please don't hallucinate. Claude, please don't agree to whatever I say. Um, and you have to give these as blanket instructions at the start. Spend a few, let's say even 15 to 30 minutes just coming up with your profile. What is it that you do so that it remembers and understands what is it that you're doing and suggests accordingly. Because the more context you give, the more files you attach, the better it is for Claude to even give you an answer. Mm. Is LinkedIn enough for AI discoverability or website is more important? Shweta, I would 100% suggest a website. LinkedIn is for you to connect as an individual with other individuals. But as a business owner, for AI discoverability, it is more than important for you to have a website in today's times. So, Adnan, you want to answer something in addition to that to Shweta Jay?
Yeah, absolutely. So think of it like this, that there are different layers of understandability or information which is there for a business. Now, the most legitimate or the most uh, authentic source will always be the website. Even for us, like as human beings, if you have to go somewhere and find information, the website is always the primary source, and same is the case with AI as well. Having said that, it does not mean that your social media presence is not important. So, what AI will treat is your website as the primary source, but your social media, your Google My Business listing, your reviews, all that is taken into consideration. So, yes, you have to be active on LinkedIn, you have to be active on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you have presence. And I would suggest that for any business, it is always better to have presence on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. If you can create video content, and also on YouTube, and active presence. It is not like you created an account and once in a blue moon you are posting. No, at least once in a week. Ideally, 3 times a week if you can do that, but at least once in a week you should be posting. Similar to Google My Business, a lot of time I see it was created many years ago, and after that there's no update, there is no linkages with the social media, there's nothing that has happened. Your Google My Business should also be updated properly. In fact, Gemini has recently launched this provision that you can link. So if you go to Gemini and type @ and that's where it will show. It works on phone as well as on the desktop. So that's where you have now an option to connect your Google My Business, and that adds a lot of intelligence to it. So that's where now Gemini can review your Google My Business. It can pinpoint to you what are the issues. In fact, it can also write updates for you, and you can automate that. So that is now possible. I am not sure because I also have a Gemini paid account, so it is working there. Not sure if it works, but connectors are there on the free account as well.
Absolutely. Thanks, Adnan, for that. Mr. Vishal, we've seen your question. We'll answer it. It's just that while talking, it's difficult to read such a lengthy question. But while I'm answering the next one, I think Adnan will also go through yours. So, I can see there are still questions around getting the recording of today's session. Two, 3 points. One is if you'd like to connect with our founder, Sumi Gambhir, please use her Instagram handle @sumi.gl to connect with her. The second thing is you can connect with her on her LinkedIn profile. You just have to type Sumi Gambhir. Similarly, both Adnan and I are also socially available, even on WhatsApp, if you'd like to connect with us. We have created a WhatsApp group, in fact, during the session, and I've already shared it in the group so that all of you can join. I'll put it again in the chat box. Thank you for the appreciative comments that you found the session insightful. I'm so glad to see that all of you are asking relevant questions and understanding the importance of having an AI discoverable website, or how AI can actually play a role for small and medium enterprises. I think I saw one more there, Adnan, before we go to Mr. Vishal's question, given that that'll take some time to answer. But Soumya Tripathi asks, is having website at Shopify going to be AI discoverable? I think, Soumya, one is we won't comment about other platforms as such, but we can tell you the power of our own platform, GlobalLinker. So, Adnan, would you like to take that on?
Right. So, what was the name of the?
Soumya Tripathi.
Okay, Soumya. So, Soumya, there are two parts to AI discoverability. One part is technical soundness, and Shopify being such a large enterprise, so I will not doubt that it will not be technical sound, although I have not personally tested it. But this is where I'm just assuming that it will be technically sound. Now, despite the fact that you are technically sound and you have the world's best infrastructure in technology, still you can be AI ununderstandable or unrecommendable because you have extremely poor content, or the content is not structured. Now, for example, if you're writing product description, if you are writing it in form of a long paragraph, there you go. You have created something which AI will not consume. It will possibly consume the first few lines of it, and the rest goes for a waste. So even the content that you are creating has to be formatted in a way. Plus, traditionally, if you go to any of the websites, you will notice that most of the websites will have one about us, uh, who we are, or a leadership page. So you will not find a lot of business information. Now, that also creates a information gap. AI needs to understand you in detail. It is not going to call you that, hey, do you have these certifications, or how do you ensure quality when you are supplying your product? It is not going to call you or email you. It is going to just move you out of the queue and go to the other business. So that is where content, and not just the product content. A lot of people also overly fantasize about the product content and entirely ignore the business. Both are super critical. Uh, Knowing that you have a product and trusting you are equally important. Only then. So both are important. And yes, coming back to your question, uh, it does not guarantee, because you may have the technology, but the content can kill you.
Okay, so I think, Adnan, since we are now running out of time, but one important question there from Mr. Vishal. Um, and time and again, we've heard people say buyers, leads, orders, how do I get traffic? What should I do? How do I reach the right buyer? So, firstly, before Adnan steps in and we come on to numbers, again, always we can, like at GlobalLinker, we can provide the tool to you, right? But having to promote it, having to actually respond to a buyer RFQ, the onus lies with you, right? And I'm going to say that very clearly, that we can bring in, we are not a company that's going to generate leads for the sake of it, right? We, when there are leads, they are sent to the relevant industry team, whoever, wherever. And again, I'm saying they're sent to the relevant people. But when I say relevant people, you need to tell the system that you are relevant to this. If you have tagged your business under the right category, if you have uploaded your products with the right description, right images, people will recognize you. So, Adnan, you want to add on to that? I thought I'll just very strongly mention it, that while we do all of our effort, the onus also lies with you to go ahead, and only the very active and the very the ones that stay diligent and consistent in building their profile, in actually responding to RFQs, in going through that effort of doing, let's say, SEO, doing social media. We're here to help you in your journey, grow together, but we'll need you to equally handshake. So, Adnan, you want to say anything in addition to that?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is where I would want to take a step back. And this is where not just addressing Vishal's point, this is for everyone, because I'm not sure how many in the audience have a background about GlobalLinker. So GlobalLinker helps businesses go digital and grow digital. Now, go digital is where they can sign up and create a profile, or they can also create a website. Now, the websites can also be of different types. It can be B2C websites wherein customers can come and they can place an order, or it can be a B2B inquiry-based website. Now, the transactions that you are mentioning in your comment, these are the GlobalLinker marketplace transactions. For a long period of time, those were the two avenues. Businesses were operating their websites and they were getting orders. And on the inquiry part, because they were directly getting inquiries, we were not tracking them. So a business operates an inquiry website or a B2B website, that's where they get inquiry, and we were not tracking that. That is their own effort. They're providing the technology solution. It is after we have rolled out, and I think August 24 is where we rolled out GlobalLinker Marketplace. And for a marketplace which is predominantly B2B, we do get B2C orders. That many transaction, I think, is a milestone in itself. And just to qualify, we operate a marketplace in Philippines with one of the largest operator. The transactions on that marketplace, that one instance only, are more than this. Right? So these are only the numbers of a very nascent marketplace.
Absolutely, Adnan. In fact, I also handle the buyer side of things with GlobalLinker, and I can tell you that just yesterday, in fact, 6 months back, we helped a brand from UK launch an oral strips entire vertical in UK. Just day before yesterday, he came down to Delhi again, saying that he wants to now launch a premium protein brand, and we helped him meet the right kind of suppliers. So when opportunities come, you have to stay on top of it. I think that's something that we're all learning together. So I hope I answered your question, Mr. Vishal. And yes, there is a paid version of GlobalLinker. We can definitely discuss that offline. We'll be happy to help you. In case there are any other members who would want to know about the paid packages that are there. And when I say paid packages, I can vouch that it's value for money. You won't feel the pinch of it. So we can discuss about that offline. Please feel free to connect with Adnan or me, or like I said, with Sumi as well.
All right. So there's a question I'm seeing. It is from Mr. Nagpal. So, Mr. Nagpal, either myself or Malvika will reach out to you, or someone from our team will reach out to you, and we'll discuss this in person.
Sure, sure. Okay, so I think then, since we love to stay within our time, I think we're just 5 minutes out. So thank you everyone for joining in. Mr. Shiva Pratap, thank you for sharing your contact number. I'll have one of my team member or colleague speak to you. Thank you everyone for joining. It was lovely hosting you all today, and we look forward to doing such sessions in the future as well. Thank you.